Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to Cool Vision. Remember how I called Harbin a frozen desert? Well, Hokkaido is the opposite. It's actually warmer and it gets an incredible amount of snow. In fact, this is one of the snowiest places on Earth. And in this video, we're going to explore what makes Hokkaido so unique. From giant snow festivals and heated roads to world-class skiing, incredible seafood, volcanic landscapes, and the rugged Pacific coast. Welcome to Hokkaido. But first, where is it? Japan has 4 main islands, and Hokkaido is the second largest and the northernmost. It's also much bigger than most people expect. In fact, it's about the size of Austria. It sits just across the Tsugaru Strait from Honshu, connected by the Seikan Tunnel, the longest undersea railway tunnel in the world. And Russia's Sakhalin Island lies just about 43 kilometers to the north. Let's start in Sapporo. Landed at the airport, took a train, boom, we're in the city. From above, the first thing you notice is the huge central strip called Odori Park. It divides the city neatly into north and south, with Mount Tengu rising in the background. And there's something else you might notice. The street layout. Sapporo follows a North American style grid, which is quite unusual for Japan. Most Japanese cities grew organically over centuries and often feel a bit chaotic. Sapporo feels different because it was essentially built from scratch in 1869, when Japan began rapidly developing Hokkaido with help from American advisors. At the eastern end of Odori Park stands the Sapporo TV Tower, one of the city's most recognizable landmarks. Built in 1957 for television broadcasting, today it's all about the view. Take the elevator up about 90 meters, and you get a great panorama of downtown Sapporo. Not far from here is another famous landmark, the Sapporo Clock Tower. Built in 1878, it originally served as a drill hole for the Sapporo Agricultural College, which later became Hokkaido University. Inside, visitors can still see the original clock mechanism and the large wooden hole, once used for military drills. Today, the building is surrounded by modern skyscrapers. A sharp reminder that this entire area was once open farmland.
Wow guys, this is unbelievable. This is how much snow we got here in Sapporo. We had a crazy snowstorm last night and everything's just been covered in snow. You know, you can make snowballs out of it. Whew! I cannot believe the snowdrifts are so tall. Whoa!
We had a crazy snowfall the previous night, so I decided to help the city clean. Not far from here stands the former Hokkaido government office, better known as the Red Brick Building. Completed in 1888, it was designed in an American neo-Baroque style, reflecting the strong Western influence during Hokkaido's early development. For many years, this building served as the headquarters of the Hokkaido government. Today, it's a museum where visitors can learn about the island's history. While walking around Sapporo, I occasionally saw political volunteers handing out leaflets. In Japan, politicians often campaign directly on the street, greeting pedestrians and building name recognition long before election day. Sapporo is very walkable, but there's a catch. Because temperatures often move above and below freezing, the streets can become extremely slippery. I saw quite a few people lose their footing, so proper winter shoes are essential.
Please be extra careful because some parts of the roads are very icy. Oh, see? That's how you don't want to end up. Don't spill the coffee.
In some places, you'll even find small public boxes filled with sand that everyone can spread on the ice for extra traction. Driving can be tricky too. After a cold night, thick ice builds up so quickly that some cars end up scraping their undercarriages on frozen ridges. If you get tired of walking, no problem. Taxis are easy to find. Just download the Go Taxi app, since Uber isn't widely available in many parts of Hokkaido. Another cool way to get around is the Sapporo tram. It's been running since 1918 and circles the city center in a loop. Unlike many transit systems, you pay when you exit, not when you board. Sapporo also has buses and a 3-line subway running from around 6 a.m. until midnight. So getting around the city is pretty easy. But here's something interesting. Sapporo even has an underground city. Areas like Pole Town and Aurora Town are long underground corridors filled with shops, restaurants, and cafes. People can move around downtown without facing snow, wind, or traffic. In many ways, it feels like a giant underground shopping mall. You can walk across large parts of the city center completely underground. Warm, dry, and no traffic lights. Hokkaido is surrounded by cold northern seas and is famous for its incredibly fresh seafood. So when you get hungry, it's a no-brainer. One of the best places to try it is Nijo Market, which has been operating here for over a century. This is where I stopped for lunch and met a cool couple from Singapore. We ordered uni, that is sea urchins, rich and buttery, ooh, so delicious. Some tuna, of course. Hokkaido's famous hairy crab.
It's the hairy crab everyone's been talking about.
And some fresh scallops. The food was fantastic, and the whole meal for the three of us came to around $50.
Okay, what's your name, guys?
Hi, I'm Franco.
And I'm Shamin.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Where do you come from?
Singapore.
You're from Singapore.
Whoa, that's got to be a huge weather contrast.
Yeah, super huge. Yeah, it's freezing over here. But then we've set like back home, but over here we're freezing to death.
I imagine you didn't have these clothes back home, so did you buy them here?
Yeah, so we bought it back home specifically to prepare for here, and it's the only time we ever get to use it anyway.
So what's the best impression of Hokkaido for you so far?
Great food, beautiful city, friendly people.
Okay,
So
if you had
it's
to recommend one thing when it comes to food, what would it be?
The hairy crabs, yeah.
Oh.
Much more different from what we're used to elsewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, super sweet, tastes like the ocean, and the roll is amazing.
sounds great. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
Now, if you're in a rush, Sapporo even has something faster than fast food. It's called stand-in soba.
And it's super fast. There's no chairs, there's no lingering. Just come, eat, go.
Instead of sitting down, people stand at a counter and finish a bowl of noodles in just a few minutes before catching the next train. Not far from downtown is Hokkaido University, one of Japan's top national universities. Founded in 1876, it played a major role in developing Hokkaido when the island was still considered a frontier. The campus is unusually large for Japan, about 180 hectares, with wide tree-lined avenues and research fields.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Sean.
Nice to meet you, Sean.
Nice to meet
and
you.
do you study at this university?
Yes.
What do you study?
I'm majoring the engineering.
Nice. What kind of engineering?
I'm especially the civil engineering.
Okay.
Civil, yes.
Okay, and what's your dream job?
Dream job. I want urban developing company.
Yeah.
Kind of to make a great building and the city more
Yeah.
developed.
Nice, very nice. Do you want to stay in Hokkaido or do you want to move somewhere else?
I love Hokkaido, so
Okay.
yeah, I want to work in Hokkaido.
So tell me, in your free time, what do you like to do?
I like snowboarding because I live in Hokkaido. So I went to Niseko last month. So it was nice mountain. So yeah, I like snowboarding and also I do skiing.
One thing that surprised me was that the university actually keeps dairy cows on campus as part of its agricultural research programs. In summer, you can sometimes see them grazing in the university fields, and the milk they produce is used to make Hokkaido University milk.
So me and Sean, we decided to go to the local cafeteria. And you know, what really surprised me was that this coffee comes, it says university milk. And I'm like, what is a university milk? Can you explain that?
Yeah, we have the cow inside the university.
Okay.
So we take care of, especially the agriculture student, take care of the cow. So this milk is from cow inside.
You got
Hokkaido.
your own cows
Yes.
at the university?
Yes.
Actually, my ice cream came with university milk also. So I think it's pretty unique. Yeah. All right, let's drink some coffee.
One of the university's early leaders was an American agricultural specialist named William S. Clark. Before leaving Japan, he famously told his students, "Boys, be ambitious. And that phrase became legendary. After dark, the city shifts to a very different atmosphere. Welcome to Susukino. This is Sapporo's main nightlife district, packed with restaurants, bars, hotels, and neon-lit entertainment venues. It's often compared to Tokyo's Kabukicho, a place where the city really comes alive after dark. One of the most recognizable symbols here is the Nikka whiskey sign glowing above the intersection. Nikka whiskey is one of Japan's most famous whiskey brands, founded by Masataka Taketsuru, who learned whiskey making in Scotland before bringing the craft to Japan. People are having a blast climbing snowdrifts and taking pictures. Many visitors come here from warm places like Singapore and are seeing snow for the very first time. One dish you absolutely have to try here is miso ramen, and the best place to experience it is Ramen Alley, a narrow street lined with tiny ramen shops that has been serving noodles since the 1950s.
We came to this place to try miso ramen soup, and the size is just incredible.
And the smell is incredible too.
Oh yeah, and this is a regular size, guys.
While standing in line for miso ramen, I made friends with George from Britain.
Is there anything people need to know before coming to Hokkaido?
Yeah, definitely, right? So, number one tip, good footwear. Well, brilliant footwear. You need something with grip because it's just so icy, so slippy, right? Number two, hat. You need a hat because your ears are going to get freezing. Also bring a lot of cash with you and an open mind, and you got to make connections with like local people as well as other travelers, especially if you travel alone. Just talk to random people, right? Just say hello, like, and then you never know where it's going to take you. Especially like today, met you, said hello, we're just chit-chatting and then had a bit of an exploration, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Had a blast.
Yeah.
Now, even in Sapporo, you can't completely escape Japan's famous JDM tuning culture. Liberty Walk is one of the best-known Japanese tuning brands worldwide, famous for its aggressive, wide-body kits and heavily customized supercars. Of course, in Sapporo, this kind of car culture isn't as visible as in Tokyo. Because of the long, snowy winters, most people prefer practical cars. Still, every now and then you might spot a modified car sliding through a corner. Snow is the defining feature of Sapporo. The city receives around 5 meters every year, making it the second snowiest major city in the world.
2, 3.
And all that snow is exactly what makes Sapporo Snow Festival possible. Every winter, large parts of downtown transform into a giant outdoor gallery of snow and ice sculptures. Odori Park becomes the main stage of the festival, filling with enormous snow creations, some several stories tall, recreating famous buildings, historical scenes, and even pop culture characters. Or even something weird like a giant stomach. At night, the sculptures light up, turning the entire park into a glowing winter landscape. Street food stalls line the park, serving hot snacks and drinks that help visitors stay warm. Another part of the Snow Festival takes place in Susukino, where the focus shifts from massive snow sculptures to crystal clear ice carvings, along with ice bars, carving competitions, and even blocks of ice with fish frozen inside. If you're looking for one of the best views of Sapporo, Mount Moiwa is the place to go. Most visitors reach the summit by taking the Mount Moiwa Ropeway, followed by a short cable car ride to the top. At the top, you'll find an observation deck, about 531 meters above sea level. You get a fantastic panoramic view of the entire city, and on clear days, you can even see the Sea of Japan. In warmer months, Mount Moiwa also becomes a popular place for hiking. Back in town, the Sapporo Beer Museum tells the story of one of Japan's oldest beer brands. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it. Sapporo Beer was founded here in 1876 during the early development of Hokkaido. And yes, there's beer tasting, of course. Next to the museum is the Sapporo Beer Garden, a large complex of restaurants. One dish you don't want to miss is the Jingisukan.
And it's lamb barbecue, and you cook it yourself. So there's this frying pan, and you first grease it, and then you add a little bit of, thinly sliced pieces of lamb. And when they're no longer red, they're ready.
It's named after Genghis Khan, supposedly because the grill resembles a Mongolian helmet. And here the food even arrives on a robot, which I'm pretty sure would leave the real Genghis Khan completely baffled. And if you happen to have a sweet tooth, don't miss Shiroi Koibito Park, a chocolate factory and a theme park run by Ishiya, the company behind Hokkaido's famous cookies, 2 thin butter biscuits with white chocolate in the middle. The complex looks like a miniature European town. Inside, visitors can watch the cookie and chocolate production lines. And there's also a small workshop where guests can decorate their own cookies. I thought it was a lovely opportunity to enjoy some hot chocolate. What a great way to start the day. Drinking hot chocolate with a phenomenal view on the mountains. Just 30 minutes away from Sapporo lies the coastal town of Otaru. Most people take the train, but I took a bus. And noticed something unusual right away. Even the aisle was full of passengers. Apparently that's normal here. No one's left behind, right? The amount of snow along the road was insane. Some bus stops were almost completely buried behind snowdrifts. And I accidentally left my hat on this bus. Yes, on this bus. And here we are in Otaru, a historic port city located on the coast of the Sea of Japan. Once the main trading and financial center of Hokkaido, today it's known for its preserved historic streets and scenic waterfront. The city's most famous site is the Otaru Canal, lined with old stone warehouses that have been converted into restaurants, cafes, and shops.
This canal once moved fish, cargo, and coal. Today it moves tourists. Same canal, very different purpose.
Seafood lovers often head to Sankaku Market, located right next to the train station. Small restaurants here serve fresh Hokkaido specialties like crab, uni, and sashimi bowls. Many places offer kaisendon, that is bowls of rice topped with fresh seafood, one of the best ways to sample Hokkaido flavors. And that's exactly what I ordered. The waitresses showed great hospitality and absolutely wanted to be on camera. Sakaimachi Street is Otaru's premier historical shopping district. Stone warehouses and Western-style buildings from the late 1800s and early 1900s now housing the city's famous glassworks, sweet shops, and museums. Located at the southern end of the street is Japan's largest music box store, where a large steam clock outside the building plays music every 15 minutes. For the best views, visitors head up Mount Tengu, a small mountain overlooking the city. Most people reach the summit by taking the cable car. From the top, you get a wide panoramic view over Otaru's harbor and the Sea of Japan, with the city spread out below. But come on, cities are only a small part of what makes Hokkaido special. The real reason people come here is the snow. Hokkaido is home to some of the best powder skiing in the world. Cold winds from Siberia cross the Sea of Japan, pick up moisture, and dump huge amounts of snow when they reach Hokkaido. The result is the legendary powder snow, known as Japow. Sapporo hosted the 1972 Winter Olympics, the first ever in Asia, helping turn Hokkaido into a world-class ski destination. Today, the island has more than 100 ski resorts. I chose Rusutsu, which averages about 14 meters of snow each year and offers 42 kilometers of runs across 3 mountains, with incredible views of Mount Yotei, often called the Mount Fuji of Hokkaido.
You guys want to know the best part? The best part is that there's no lines here. Look, it's just me. Okay. I'm riding today with
Michael Lee.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this resort?
Well, this is my most favorite resort in the world. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, I lived there for 10 years.
Okay. Where are you originally from?
Well, China, then California.
China and then California.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah.
what do you like about this resort?
It's quieter than Niseko, and single resort-wise, this is the biggest. And East Mountain Isola, there's so much powder in the trees, so the tree line is the best
Okay.
amongst all the resorts in Hokkaido.
Rusutsu is easy to reach thanks to a free shuttle bus from Sapporo, making it a convenient day trip for skiers staying in the city. After skiing, I ended the day with a snowmobile ride through the surrounding forests and open fields covered in fresh powder, followed by another local specialty, soup curry, a spicy broth with large pieces of vegetables and meat like chicken or pork. This dish actually originated in Sapporo and is now one of the region's signature foods. Now, what many visitors don't realize is that ethnic Japanese did not originally live in Hokkaido. Long before modern Japan, the island of Hokkaido was inhabited by the Ainu people, and these people lived in these traditional homes called chise. Those are built from wood, reeds, and grass. And these people had a very different belief systems and very different way of life. Back then, the island was known as Ezo, and tens of thousands of Ainu lived across Hokkaido and the surrounding islands. In 1869, after the Meiji Restoration, Japan annexed the island, renamed it Hokkaido, and began large-scale colonization, partly out of concern over the Russian Empire's rapid expansion across Siberia and into the North Pacific. To help develop the region, Japan even hired foreign advisors like Horace Capron, an American who had previously worked on Native American affairs back home. To learn more about the island's early inhabitants, I visited the Upapoi National Ainu Museum, about an hour from Sapporo by train. Over time, Japanese settlers moved north in large amounts, and Ainu lands were gradually taken over. For the Ainu, this period meant cultural loss, forced assimilation, and the decline of their traditional way of life. Today, places like Upapoi aim to preserve Ainu culture and heritage. Visitors can listen to traditional stories, hear Ainu songs, and even hear the Ainu language, which is, by the way, considered critically endangered. You can even try Ainu food at the local cafe. Looking at all this snow, it's hard to believe that Hokkaido is actually Japan's main agricultural region. In summer, these frozen landscapes turn into vast fields of crops. Hokkaido's economy produces about $150 billion a year, comparable to a small European country, and is driven largely by agriculture, fishing, and tourism. Often called Japan's food basket, the island produces over half of the country's milk and nearly 80% of its potatoes. Despite having about 22% of Japan's land, only about 5 million people live here, which is why it feels so spacious compared to the rest of the country. Getting around the island is easy. From Sapporo's main station, you can reach most destinations by train in comfort. Just keep in mind the station is enormous. Give yourself extra time. But if you want to explore more remote areas, then renting a car makes things much easier. Driving around Hokkaido in winter is an interesting experience. Snowplows operate almost constantly, and along many highways you'll notice tall snow fences designed to block strong winds and prevent drifting snow from burying the road. But one of the most impressive solutions is heated roads. Yes, I was shocked. On steep sections of highways, the pavement is actually warmed from underneath. I've honestly never seen anything like this anywhere else. The system circulates heated water or uses electric cables embedded beneath the asphalt, keeping the surface just above freezing and preventing ice forming even during heavy snowfall. It's an expensive technology, of course, but it makes a huge difference for winter driving safety. From that point on, I was traveling with Kaz, a local guide from Unlock Japan Tours, the same guys I worked with in Tokyo. He has a regular 9-to-5 job, but on weekends, he works as a guide. The first thing he introduced me to was Seiko Mart. While most of Japan is dominated by convenience store chains like Lawson and 7-Eleven, here in Hokkaido you'll often see Seiko Mart instead. What makes it special is the hot chef section, where they serve freshly made hot meals, and their fried chicken was excellent. Kaz drives a K-car, a tiny Japanese vehicle that is much cheaper to run, because gas in Hokkaido isn't cheap, about $1.2 per liter, or roughly $4.3 per gallon. This car only has 64 horsepower, but since it weighs only 800 kilograms, it gets the job done. Our first stop was Lake Toya, a volcanic lake formed inside a large caldera. Surrounded by mountains and forested hills, its calm blue waters rarely freeze, which makes the lake especially striking against the snowy landscape. The lake is known for its small central islands, scenic viewpoints, and hot spring resorts along the shoreline. Nearby stands Showa Shinzan, a remarkable lava dome that suddenly rose from flat farmland during eruptions between 1943 and 1945.
Now, some of the people watching this video could be older than this mountain because it did not exist until the 1940s. It was literally farmland. But then a few earthquakes happened and the land just started rising, and so people saw a mountain form in front of their eyes.
Few places on Earth allow you to see a mountain that literally appeared within a single human lifetime. In just 2 years, the ground lifted and cracked as magma pushed upward, eventually forming the reddish-brown mountain you see today. The volcano remains geologically active, with steam still escaping through vents on its slopes. From here, visitors can take a cable car up Mount Usu. Observation decks offer impressive views of the crater, the surrounding volcanic landscape, and the wide expanse of Lake Toya below. After all that exploring, I thought it was time for a typical Japanese lunch. And this would be our local lunch place. Let's see what we had. Soba, tempura, and miso soup. All the usual suspects. Next up, Noboribetsu, the island's best-known onsen town, famous for its dramatic volcanic landscape and intense geothermal activity. The main attraction is Hell Valley, a volcanic crater filled with steaming vents, bubbling sulfur pools, and rugged cliffs. The geothermal waters from this valley feed the town's many hot springs, making Noboribetsu one of the best places in Japan to experience traditional onsen bathing.
This place is called Hell Valley because steam and sulfur are coming out of the ground. So you're basically walking on top of an active volcanic area. And the strong wind today makes this place seem a little more hellish. Oh yeah, pretty dangerous.
Along the streets you'll notice statues of Oni, Japanese demons that have become a symbol of that area's fiery volcanic landscape.
You know, there's a bear park up there, right? There's a bear park? Yeah, I'm serious. That's where I'm going. Okay, I might as well join you.
Another popular attraction in the area is the Noboribetsu Bear Park, where a ropeway carries visitors up the mountain to see dozens of Hokkaido brown bears, the largest land animals in Japan, living in a large open enclosure. Visitors can feed the bears and watch daily shows. And one of the gondola cabins is decorated with hanging fish, just in case the bears want to place an order.
It's fish traveling, look.
Out in the countryside, this much snow makes even simple deliveries a real challenge. Just outside town is Noboribetsu Marine Park Nixe, a distinctive aquarium designed to resemble a European-style castle. Inside are large tanks filled with sharks, rays, and other marine life from the cold waters surrounding Hokkaido. They also have dolphin and sea lion shows. But what I didn't expect to see was penguins.
Now, I certainly did not expect to find penguins in Hokkaido, but here they are.
Next stop was Muroran. Forget tourism. This is an industrial port city in southern Hokkaido. Muroran is known for its busy harbor and steel industry. Large ships dock along the long industrial canal, giving the waterfront a gritty, working port atmosphere. One of the city's most recognizable landmarks is the Hakucho Bridge, a massive suspension bridge stretching across the bay. Muroran is also known for Cape Chikyu.
All right, guys, we got as far as Cape Chikyu. There it is. Actually, Cape Chikyu means Cape Earth. Okay, and it's a pretty dramatic view spot. It's cliffs, it's strong wind, and nothing but the ocean around you.
But the wind was crazy, so I'm just glad we didn't get blown into the ocean. Now, I've got some questions for Kaz.
Question I have is I saw some watch out for bear signs here and there in Sapporo. So is that really true? Is that really a threat? Like, can bears come to town?
You know, we have less hunter compared to the previous time, and we don't hunt their bears and deer as well. I'm not joking. Half of population in Japan is not human being. Half of them are bear, half of them are fox and deers.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, they are coming up, especially in the midnight or like even in the daytime. They come out in the like park or somewhere nearby the mountain, and they come out across the road.
Yeah, it sounds real funny. Like human population decreasing, bear population increasing. They're taking over, man.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
Did not see too many like powerful cars. It seems like people just driving regular cars. So, is there a reason for that? And like, what's the best car for Hokkaido?
We don't want to drive a real drive car, like BMW and the Mercedes. Driving the real drive car on the snowy and icy road is very dangerous. It has to be a four-wheel drive.
What car would you drive if you could afford it?
Honestly, I want to buy two cars. One is a Gemini for winter and outdoor activity.
Yeah.
For other one is I think it's a JDM car. It's with a Mazda RX-7 after 3 years. The body is cool, but I don't want to drive in winter. Of course,
it's for the summer for the fun.
Yes, just for the fun.
That's right.
On the way back to Sapporo, we drove along a scenic coastal road, and by evening the views were incredible. This is the Pacific Ocean. The direct distance from here to California is about 8,000 kilometers, 6,000 kilometers to Alaska, and 3,500 kilometers to Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. Did I have a good time in Hokkaido? Oh yeah! And after spending time in Tokyo and then arriving here, I noticed a feeling that's hard to describe. A real sense of calm, Almost like your mind switches to easy mode. Everything just works, the streets are clean, trains run on time, people are polite, and the food is delicious. In many countries, you're told to be aware of your surroundings. But in Japan, that tension just fades away. And once it does, the whole trip feels different. As you may have noticed, most of this journey took place on the western side of the island. And that's just a small part of what Hokkaido has to offer. So the good news is, I'll definitely be coming back. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I'll see you in my next video.